Hey guys, Magnus here, and I thought I'd take a different approach to recording this video, because I could just do it as a slideshow, but I kind of want to do just recording on the wiki webpage to show you and to compare it for you. I don't know how this approach, how you feel about this approach, if you prefer it to the other one, but I think this is more convenient for this type of video. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to, like I said, I think I mentioned this video, but basically this video is how do I feel about Tapped Out so far? Well, this year at Tapped Out. How do I feel 2017 for Tapped Out is so far? So Tapped Out 2017. So of course we're about halfway through the year. July the 2nd is officially the halfway point between the year. We're at July the 11th at the time of me recording this. So I think it is pretty appropriate to do this video. How do we feel about the year so far? Because I think it is important that we do it. So how I'm going to approach this video is, first of all, I'm going to compare it with last year, because I think that's probably the best one to compare it to, because that's the most similar sort of format. Because of course we didn't have the levels last year, we don't have the levels this year. Well, we had one level last year, but we didn't have them this year at all. And we only had one last year, so it's a similar sort of format, whereas in 2015 we had quite a few levels at the start of the year, so it's kind of like split up differently. But now we've only got events and mini-events and episode tie-ins. It's quite similar, so to those 2 years anyway. So we'll start off with 2015. I want to start off with 2015. So, sorry, no, 2016, not 2015. So of course, as we see here, Much Are About Something was basically the very first update. Of course, winter did go on for a bit, I think, but it was released on the 8th of December, so it came in with winter. But the first official update was of course the Much Are About Something, and the first official update of this year was Home of the Heretic. But the thing is, though, of course, Much About Something followed up with Deep Space Homer, and of course, for this year, we had Home of the Heretic follow up with The Great Gatsby. So, although last year started with an episode tie-in, this year we started with a mini-event, and then we got an episode tie-in. So they just sort of, this year, the EA just spun that around. So they started it with a mini-event instead of an episode time, which I guess is quite similar. So I mean, we'll just compare it. So we'll sort of verse, in a way, we'll verse up The Great Gatsby with Much Ado About Something, and we'll verse Home of the Heretic up with Deep Space Homer. Now, I think Home of the Heretic is better than Deep Space Homer, in my opinion. I think it just added far more. Of course, added Krusty's Dad and it added Brother Faith. The Deep Space Homer, we literally just got, as we can go have a look in a second, we literally just did get 2 costumes. As you can see here, we got these buildings here, these 2 buildings, we got these decorations, and we got these 2 costumes, and that's all we got. But with Home of the Heretic, which was a really cool little mini event, we got Rabbi Krista Scoffy, we got Brother Faith, and we got Sunday Morning Homer, and we got the Temple Beth Springfield, the Penny Fountain, the Hamburger Heaven, and the Cut Glass Cathedral. So I think it was Home of the Heretic was undoubtedly the better mini event. And then we have, I guess, The Great Gatsby versus Much Ado About Something. I mean, both of them add not new characters, but of course, because Jay has been in it before. But I think, oh god, they're both called Jay, aren't they? Hey, that's cool. They're both called Jay, JG and Jay. Just noticed that. So yeah. But of course, JG was premium, so I guess that's kind of a downfall to that one. I don't know which one's better there, but I would say probably, I think I might give that to Much Ado About Something. I don't want to do completely versus up with all the first half of the year. Then we had the Lunar New Year 2017, this year of course, and then last year in that sort of kind of same February, early February, late January kind of time frame, we got the Lunar New Year, and then we also got the Tailgate and the Daily Challenges system for this. So that's kind of, which is better? Well, honestly, the daily challenge system should have been in from the start. The whole Tailgate thing was was weird, really. I wasn't a massive fan, so I might give that to the Lunar New Year. I'm not too sure though, because the Lunar New Year didn't really give us very much. And then basically, it really comes down to that's February the 23rd, and Destination Springfield was January the 31st. Wow, that's actually really weird, isn't it? If you think about it, I didn't look at the dates. But Destination Springfield came quite early, January the 31st, but we didn't actually get our first big update until February the 23rd in 2016. But in 2017, we actually got our first big update on January the 31st. So that's really weird, actually. So honestly, even that. So let's just verse up Burns Casino versus Destination Springfield, and you guys know how I feel about Destination Springfield. It absolutely trumps Burns Casino. There's not even a competition, really. I think it just destroys it. The Margian Chronicles versus 22 for 30. I think 22 for 30 was better, personally. St. Patrick's Day versus this St. Patrick's Day, again. I think probably 2016 won that, to be honest. I don't think there's much question about that, really. The Pin Pals versus the Crook and Ladder. March 31st, and that was March 10th. I know that's kind of late, but hey, let's just do it anyway. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I think Pin Pals probably wins that. Just a bit though, because they were both costume mini events, really. Spring Cleaning versus Forgotten Anniversary, maybe? I don't know. And then we'll just go to the last big update, which of course was the Wild West, which we got on April the 19th. And we of course got Time Traveling Toaster on May the 30th. Wow, actually that is kind of a time frame, isn't it? Wow. You see that with it's kind of weird actually, because we got April. They got Wild West there. They got their second big event in April, but we got our second big event in actually what was the second big event? It would have been the Secret Agents, wouldn't it? Which was released March 28th. Wow. So we did two big events. Yeah. So we're kind of this year 2017 is quite ahead in terms of the thing. So I guess what would be a better match for Time Traveling Toaster would have to be the Superheroes 2. June the 14th, and of course this one came out May the 30th. It's probably the best you're going to get, May, June. Yeah, that's a fair enough comparison, I'd say. So Superheroes 2 versus Time Traveling Toaster. I'd say Time Traveling Toaster wins that. Ish. Yeah, I don't know, actually. Because I'm probably one of the fewest people in the Tap community who like the Superheroes Part 2. Most people don't like it, I found out. But, I still probably say maybe the Time Traveling Toaster is a little bit better. There again, Time Traveling Toaster was lacking quite a bit of stuff. So I'm not sure. So how is it so far? How is this year so far? I would say it's definitely better than 16. So you know what we can do? Well, actually, no. I just want to quickly mention before we just what can we expect next is probably a good question. So of course we've done the 4th of July. Depleted Rail Yard was the next thing that we got, but we didn't get that until July 26th. So honestly, I don't know what we're going to get next in terms of Tap. I guess maybe that's probably the best thing to compare it to, the Pride thing too, the Depleted Rail Yard maybe, or possibly the Springfield Games, but that wasn't until August 3rd. I think we're probably going to get our next kind of, I'm not saying we're going to get our next sci-fi, but we're going to get something where the first sci-fi update was, and then there'll be probably, in the middle of that, there'll be either an episode 10 or a mini event, and then we'll go into Treehouse of Horror. So, anyway, let's just get rid of 2016. We don't need that anymore. So yeah, 2015 so far. So let's just go through all the events, and I'll give them a thumbs up or a thumbs down from what I thought. And the thumbs up and the thumbs down, and I'll tally them. I'll tally them for you. So hang on, let me just write something down. So like, dislike. This is a really prepared video, I know, but sorry, it's just because I'm very busy, so I had to kind of improvise this video a little bit. But I hope you do like the format, or you don't mind the format. Probably, maybe not like, but don't mind the format. So okay, let's go. So we're starting with ones we like. So we'll start with, of course, the Home of the Heretic. Do we like the Home of the Heretic? Yeah, we like the Home of the Heretic. So that's one to like. Do we like the Great Fatsby? We'll ignore the teaser. The Great Gatsby update. Do we like The Great Gatsby? I'm going to put it on the dislike for now because I just think it was very expensive. And they could have done so much more with it. Lunar New Year. Do we like the Lunar New Year? I'm going to put it on the dislike. Again, I think they could have done a bit more with it. Destination Springfield, I think definitely is a like. That's brilliant, that update. 22 for 30. I really like 22 for 30. I thought it was pretty solid. Rommelwood Academy, St. Patrick's Day. I would have liked them to do more, but I am going to put it on the like. The Secret Agents, you know what? I like the Secret Agents. It wasn't amazing, but I think it was pretty solid. I know Easter's included there. Actually, sugar. We will do St. Patrick's Day and Easter as well. So St. Patrick's Day and Easter and Hellfish Bonza. So Hellfish Bonza, I didn't like. St. Patrick's Day, I didn't like. And Easter, I didn't like. So that's 5 dislike, 5 like. I'm going to count those, even though they are tiny. Pin Pals. I liked Pin Pals. I will ignore Forgotten Anniversary. Time Traveling Toaster. I like Time Traveling Toaster. But in terms of the big events, I liked all the big events. So in terms of big events, it's doing it great. But honestly, that's 5 to dislike. That's 7 to like. So far, this year is more in the positives. Last year. And that's just me being a bit nitpicky and harsh. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. But I think it's definitely better than 2016 by a long shot. I think we are definitely... we definitely have a very good year so far, and it can only get better, really. So anyway, I do hope you like this video. I know it wasn't the best of videos, just the way I'm doing it. I do hope it was entertaining. I hope my commentary was entertaining enough. I know there isn't much visually that was going on, but it's just a one-off. This isn't going to be like a new format or anything for videos. This is just a one-off for this kind of video, because I wasn't too sure if the approach of just having pictures and different splash screens and stuff, I don't know if that was going to be worthy enough. I didn't really know if I could make it work, and honestly, it's just easier for me just to do this. I'm being a bit lazy with this video, being honest, but hey ho, sue me. So anyway, I'll see you next video, guys. Tell me your thoughts. Do you think this year so far has been great? I think this year so far has been pretty solid. I don't think it's been perfect. There's definitely some updates that have been a bit dodgy, but I think, and when I'm talking about dodgy, I'm talking about the annual ones mainly, like Valentine's Day and St. Patrick's Day, and I just think those ones haven't been particularly very good, including 4th of July and stuff like that. Yeah. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please comment, subscribe, and all do all that good stuff. And I'll see you next video. Goodbye.